Welcome to our third training video, reflecting on community service and service learning. As you volunteer in the community, we encourage you to reflect on your experience and think about, what are you learning? You can gain a great deal from this experience. Some questions you may wish to ask are, what is the purpose of the agency that you are working with? What social problems is it working to help? How would the world be different if this agency were no longer necessary? And what would need to change in society to make this agency unnecessary? You may also want to ask some questions about yourself. For example, how are you similar or different to those that you are interacting with? What privileges or advantages have you had in life that those that you are working with have not? What privileges or advantages have they have that you have not? Or if you're working with those who are struggling, what strengths help people deal with adversity?
You may also want to ask how you personally are growing from this experience. What do you bring to this volunteer experience? What are your strengths? And where do you still need to grow and learn? What can you improve on, and where do you need more training? Can you relate what you are doing at this agency to any courses that you've taken? What skills have you learned from classes that you bring to this experience? And what has this experience taught you that may inform what you've learned in class? This is useful to think about whether or not you're specifically doing the service learning for a class or not. You also should ask yourself, do you want to continue doing work like this? Can you see a career path in this direction? If so, this is a great opportunity. You can talk to the paid staff at the agency, and you can ask them about their career paths, and maybe you can learn how to follow their path. It is also important to think about your attitude towards helping others. Some people who volunteer see themselves as helping or even saving others who are in need. They may think of themselves as heroes who are going to make a difference in the world. However, this is a problematic assumption for a few reasons. First of all, it is hard to make a noticeable difference in the world, and the hero can become frustrated and disillusioned, and we certainly don't want you to become frustrated or disillusioned. This attitude also assumes that the people you are working with want and need to be saved. However, it is unlikely that they see themselves that way. It is also hard to know what other people need or want, especially if they come from different backgrounds than you do. And the people you are working with have strength and resilience, and you can likely learn as much from them as they do from you. Finally, many problems in this world are due to larger social issues that cannot be solved by a single volunteer. You can think about how you can continually work to make a difference in the world, including even after you graduate.
So we think there's a better approach to volunteering in the community, and we encourage you to listen to what others need and want, and be a partner, not a savior. Also realize that sometimes larger social systems need time to change, and it takes a long time. And when people work together to make the world a better place, everyone benefits. And our work is guided by Lila Watson, an activist, academic, and artist. And she states, if you have come here to help me, you are wasting your time. But if you have come here because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together. We also have a few pointers for wrapping up your volunteer experience. As your volunteer experience ends, we encourage you to make it clear with the agency and site supervisor when your last day is. And tell your clients when you're leaving. You may wish to consider some sort of closing activity to say goodbye, and always thank the agency for giving you the opportunity to work with them. And finally, remember to reflect on what you have learned and how you have grown throughout the experience. Finally, as you engage in service, we encourage you to think about our UMW values, and you may find that you have realized all of the UMW values. For example, you certainly will have practiced accountability. You will have practiced scholarship as you reflect on what you've learned in your classes and how that relates to your experience in the community. You have built upon and grown your personal and institutional integrity, and of course practiced inclusive excellence and respect and civility. And finally, most importantly, engagement. UMW wants to develop engaged members of our community who actively participate through responsible leadership and service.
Thank you for watching these videos.
We
love our volunteers.